Hey guys, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your weekly tarot and astrology for April 20th through the 26th of 2020. So before we get into the tarot, we're going to go over the astrology. And I just want to say thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of my subscribers. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't, do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to check out your monthlies as well as your weeklies for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. And if you do want to book a private reading, all my information is below in my description box where it always is. And I am taking 20% off of all of my readings at this time due to the coronavirus, so check that out, guys. And also I have some information down there on how to get a good chunk of change off of Truly Divine's astrology and numerology analysis reports, which I will mention again at the end, okay? So let's get into this week here. It is the first week of Sun in Taurus. Yay! Happy birthday to all of my Tauruses. It's my birthday week, so I'm pretty excited. I put on my big hoops for this reading. So let's talk about this here. We also have the new moon in Taurus this week. That's going to be pretty big. I might even do a separate video on it. And we're starting off the week here with Monday 4/20, which I will be putting a really special and interesting video out that is quite divergent from my normal content, so check that out, guys. So Monday is 4/20, and we are starting the week off with the moon in Aries here. It's going to be a lot more energy. Our energy is going to be a lot more, jacked up. We're going to be wanting to do a lot of things. We're going to be feeling a lot more confident. We also have the sun again entering Taurus. Depending on what you think, I guess, because it's a leap year, some people have told me. So thank you again in the comments for those of you who answered my question on that. Because I was like, it always starts on 4/20. Why is it on 4/19 this year? And there was differing things on the internet and in books, so I was a little bit confused as to what was going on with the start of Taurus season. But apparently it's starting on the 19th because of the leap year. So there we go. Again, thanks for the answers on that. I don't know everything. With the sun entering Taurus on 4/19, 4/20, whatever, we have this productive, practical, pragmatic, grounded, earthy, health-conscious energy that we're going to be, more enjoying cleaning, making our homes brighter, more comfortable, looking also for new ways in terms of how to relax and enjoy things more, how to enjoy work more, how to enjoy our playtime and relaxation time more, and really get the most out of it, how to slow down while still being productive, okay? So we also have the moon in Aries sextiling Saturn in Aquarius that day, bringing up this sense of responsibility, which makes us also, again, really highly assertive in terms of pursuing our goals with deliberation. On Tuesday, the 21st, what am I saying, the 21st? It's my birthday. I got a little excited there. That's my birthday, so happy birthday to me on the 21st. I'm turning 26. Over the 25th, first quarter of life hump, so it's going to be a little weird for me. We have the sun in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius, so there's going to be this sense of overconfidence masking our uncertainty and limitations, and obstacles might crop up. We have another couple of interesting sextiles, moon in Aries sextiling Venus in Gemini, moon in Aries sextiling Mars in Aquarius, and the moon in Aries conjunct Mercury in Aries, which is interesting because they're both in Aries. So mentally, we're going to be really active there, and in terms of judgment, we're going to have really good judgment, and it might be some pretty decent energy for starting or working practically on business matters there. Wednesday the 22nd, we have the new moon in Taurus, and that's going to bring up some big energies. Let me just get my notes on that, actually. So I have quite a few, but I don't want to overburden you with it because I'm going to do a separate video. But it is pretty interesting because it is the fixed earth Taurus. This is the first new moon in a fixed earth or a fixed sign here of the new astrological year. So it's got this really Empress type energy, as I associate with Taurus if you watch my tarot videos a lot. And it's going to really have you looking at, any paradigms that we've really needed to liberate ourselves from. So anything, in terms of our belief that we're liberating ourselves and tying this belief into buying things, ideas, living that certain life, having that apartment, living there. If I buy this makeup, I'm going to be super beautiful. Things like that influencers, social media says that we must consume. This full moon here, new moon. What did I write? Full moon. New moon will really ask you, is that really true here? And does that really fulfill you? Does that make you truly whole and liberated? So consumption does not equal liberation. liberation, and that's going to be a huge wake-up call for a lot of people, and I know I've been feeling it. So I've even kind of, you know, stepped, even though, like, you know, I don't know if I'm an influencer or what, I don't consider myself that, but I've kind of stepped back from social media in some bigger ways, just because I think it's, a lot of it is so fake, and it's so, you can get, I don't know, just, I'll talk about that more in the new moon in Taurus video, so stick around for that, or keep an eye out on that, because that's a big conversation I definitely want to have with you guys as well. You know, what we feel obligated to do and be in terms of social media, because we're chasing, again, this wholeness that this new moon in Taurus is really going to have us look at and say, does that really make you feel whole? No. There's also going to be this Saturn square with Aquarius, Saturn and Aquarius square, so that's going to be interesting. And again, we'll talk more about the Taurus new moon, because it'll be a really good time for a lot of, you know, again, new beginnings, looking at practicality in terms of work here, and especially because Uranus is in Taurus, and it's making some interesting aspects there as well, and having some conversations with Uranus in Taurus and the moon in Taurus. It's gonna, again, have us really being able to break some negative patterns and help us direct and focus towards things that we really want to happen, and have us looking again at what is our true nature and being a lot more true in terms of that, and that'll help us, again, pick what we want to manifest, pick where we're going. So I know that's a lot to digest in terms of astrology, so I won't burden you for the rest of the week here. On the 25th, we have Pluto retrograding, so that's going to be pretty big. There's going to be a lot of intense and complex energy hanging really heavy around this time, and we're not going to be as open and direct about our desire for control during this Pluto retrograde, okay? And that lasts all the way until October 4th. So let's just leave this all here, because that's a lot of astrology, and you can definitely check out White Light Astrology. I really love his little weekly overviews, so check those out as well if you want to look more and learn more about the astrology that's happening right now and how it's really playing out in the world around us, on a global scale. It's pretty interesting, and I really like the way that he does that, so check him out. Anyways, guys, let's get into your weekly tarot reading. Okay, Libras, so we're using the Rider-Waite Tarot, my original deck, to check out your week for April 20th, the 26th for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Do check out that monthly, guys, for a more in-depth overview of your whole month. Ooh. All right. Okay, and one last card here. It's not looking too bad, honestly. It's looking pretty good. Oh, that like hurt for some reason. Oh, carpal tunnel. All right, so your guidance, not so much, I'm sorry, I just got all thrown off because of my wrist there. It's the last card I always pull is your guidance. Your theme of the week here, your theme of the week, not guidance, is the Ten of Wands reversed, although it could be a card of guidance too. We can take them all that way, really. But Ten of Wands reversed shows you really letting go of some burden that you've been carrying, letting go of a lot of responsibility. And if you didn't check out the astrology part in the first half of this reading, I highly recommend checking that out, because this is really coming up for you guys. Maybe it's because you're also Venus ruled like Taurus, and we're in this Sun in Taurus, so it has you really shifting in some major ways that I think that the new moon in Taurus is helping, especially again in terms of releasing and letting go of any toxic negative paradigms, things that you've held on to that you continue to do that aren't giving you the success, the happiness, the truth to who you are. It makes you feel like less than truthful about who you are, what you're doing, you know what I mean? There's a lot that we're holding on to that we shouldn't really be feeling connected to anymore. Again, a lot of responsibility that maybe others have put on us. You know, you're expected to do this, you're expected to do all of this person's work, you're expected for all these things, Or again, it could be expectations from more about who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be contributing, what level you're supposed to be at this certain age, you know, how much money you should have in the bank, all these things. It's time to let that go in the face of who you really are yourself and who you really want to be, who you define yourself as, and what you let others define you as. And I'm probably going to be doing a new moon in Taurus video, so check that out as well, because I think that energy is really important for you as a fellow ruled Venus, ruled sign here, and I think it's going to be really big for you guys. Anyways, your emotional here, let's get into that, is Four of Wands. So it's needing to, again, find peace where you are and to not carry so much anxiety, stress, so much of a burden on your back. Finding ways to just sit and be. Taurus season reminds you that you don't always have to be in this hustle. You don't have to be busy 24/7. That is not what success is. That's not what brings you success. And that is not what defines success. Yes, you have to be determined. You have to have determination. You have to have a succinct and clear goal. But if you're throwing your energy this way, that way, every way, and taking on so much more than you should really be taking on, so much more than you can actually handle, then at some point it's going to become very clear that you're not living your own truth. You're living in the truth of other people and what they want you to be and do. So it's time to find, again, that peace now. That Taurus energy has you slowing down, taking stock, and really being present exactly where you are. Thinking about what the life that you really want to be living, to finding peace in the now. I mean, the Taurus season is also, you know, heralds spring. It is the time of the May Queen. It's the time of death and rebirth in that kind of sense. When, I mean, if you want to look into the whole lore around that and what that means, go into it. I'll talk again more about that in the new moon in Taurus video, because I think it's a really beautiful and important concept that we're going to be seeing throughout April and May. Even though we really don't have that much of April left now. Weird, right? Career is looking great for you guys. The sun. This is something really amazing to celebrate. We're having success here. Things are working out. We might even be seeing something in a new and really wonderful way. We might be finding success in something that we really believe in, that we've put a lot of effort into, and feeling like, yes, it's finally my time in the sun about this. It's finally my time to shine. Let's look at that a little bit for you guys, because I know work is always really important to Libras. It's because you're ruled by Venus. So what's happening there in terms of the sun for Libras with career and work here? Ooh. I think you're going to be really also seeing in terms of, you know, like I talked about at the beginning of this video with the astrology, the material, you know, material doesn't equal happiness. Getting something doesn't equal fulfillment. It's not going to fulfill you. It doesn't make you whole. Having those nice things, looking this way, having this style, buying that thing that everyone's buying, that's not fulfilling. And I think that you're really going to be shifting in terms of what you allow social media and other people to dictate to identify as successful or identify as whole. And especially so in terms of work, money for you guys. This is a real shift for you. This is a real shift. Why are we not getting one? Clarify the sun. Sometimes this deck is really deep and frustrating. Yeah, Page of Pentacles reversed. Fine, we're going to take you. Three of Swords reversed. Time to pull out those three swords about why you think you can't go for what you want to do. Why you think you can't do what you want to do. Live the life in terms of career of what you want to do. You're like, actually, hold the phone. I'm really successful and amazing. Of course I am. I'm a Libra. I'm the best at what I do. People with Libran parents tend to not know some really important things about life because their Libran parents don't let them do it. I have a Libran father, just ask me. It's infuriating. Sometimes you're like, I want to do this on my own. They're like, I already did it and I'm not going to tell you how. And it's like, okay, well, cool. But you guys need to let other people also do things for themselves here. But this also, again, it more focuses on what makes you happy in terms of career. You have to have more of a self-focus in terms of your success and confidence there, and really look at why you don't have confidence, why you think something isn't going to work out, what you fear about what you really want to do, and why you haven't gone for it yet. There's a lot of sight being thrown right on there for you guys. It almost has me wanting to look at those notes here. So let's actually peek at that for a second. Yeah, it really has, for me and like for you guys, I think, again, this is going to help you break these paradigms that we've needed to. Again, like your liberation is really tied to owning, to buying things, ideas, things that influencers, social media tell you we must consume. What do you need to consume? What do you need to have, buy? This new moon, again, this whole week, it feels like you're asking yourself, is that really true? And do these nice things fulfill me? Do these heels fulfill me? Does this video game console, does this nice equipment, you know, this makeup, this whatever it might be, does this fulfill me? Does it make me feel whole and liberated? Does, you know, do the likes on Instagram make me feel that way? Consumption and being famous are not truly liberation. And that's really what I think you're looking at, especially in terms of work. So maybe it's time to start switching towards something that you might have feared going into before because you were afraid that you wouldn't make money. You're afraid you wouldn't be successful. You would have no success there. But love and relationship look lovely for you this week. There's a real coming back together out of, you know, what feels like a lot of separation. And we're communicating better. We're making some big changes. For those of you who have been waiting for someone to come back in, if you have a fire sign that's coming back in, they're probably coming back in. Especially if they've been gone for a while. You're like, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if I'm going to hear from them again. Judgment usually has people coming back, especially after it's a Five of Pentacles reverse there. We're coming out of being very alone, or again, feeling lonely, maybe even in a relationship. We've been in this kind of rut. And it's like, all right, how do we waken this back up? Let's get some passion going. Let's find new things to do. Let's maybe start a new project together. Let's do something together. Let's do something interesting. Let's bring passion back in. Let's start, you know, bringing the fire back. So in terms of relationship, that's going to be pretty good. And for those of you who have been waiting for someone to come back, you might just be hearing from some exes, someone from the past, and probably a fire sign. Yeah, you're going to have to make the decision on that one. But things are balancing out in terms of relationships in a really nice way. If we're looking again to communicate very truthfully, this has a lot of really great backing there, okay? The Devil reversed is your advice for the week. So break free again of any of those, we keep talking about those negative paradigms, those toxic relationships, toxic attachments, and ways of living, ways of believing. And it has you, again, really looking at that and shifting this week. Because you've been holding on to a lot of this for a while, and it's become really weighty, really exhausting for you. And this, again, is the shift. Let go of the devil. Let go of what you feel chained to and break free from it. Okay, it's time to break free of, you know, what capitalism and that hustle mentality has us doing. And especially so for you guys. Because you guys do get quite caught up in that, as well as some other signs. I think Taurus season has you looking at wealth and material in a much more constructive, grounded, and down-to-earth way, as Taurians kind of do. Let's pull a Lindsay Andrews card for you. It's a DP. I didn't mean to say it like that. It's a deep read is what I was trying to say, but instead I said it's a deepy, which is not a word. We're going to ignore that. Okay, Libras. Let's pull a card of advice, guidance, messages from your higher self for this week. Libra. Oh. All right, virtue. You had another one come out. We'll see if we're going to read it. I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure if I want to. That sounds so mean. Virtue. What a beautiful card. I'm sorry I have to hold it sideways. Virtue is one of the passive qualities of power. When you pull back the bow, preparing to set the arrow and define your target, you use the strength, the will, and the focus that you have collected within that part of yourself called virtue. Virtue is where you find inner truth. It is a place of illumination, and that radiance grows within you. It becomes integrity. Without virtue, there is no inner balance. Virtue comes from the unknown, quiet things that you do for the world and other people. With each act, your spirit shield becomes stronger and more beautiful with the symbols of your inner life. Like the deer, they are quiet symbols. Virtue marks your path on the other side. Like the one who walks last, the virtuous person is in a position of power. Power often comes quietly. Walk in beauty and virtue. And I guess we will read the second one because it's nagging at me. So Harmony, your reading is going to be a bit longer, I guess, than the others this week. Harmony lives in the law of balance and involves equilibrium between the physical and spiritual aspects of your life. For there to be harmony, there must be balance. Imagine yourself as the hub of a sacred wheel standing in the center. This wheel must function every day of your life. If you imagine that the south is your physical self, the west your emotional self, the north your spiritual, and the east your mental, you see that you stand in an ancient wheel of truth. Consider whether you spend as much time in the physical as you do in the spiritual. Are they balanced? Are they in harmony? Reflect on whether you spend more time in your emotions than you do in your mind. Adjust your daily life by being aware of your actions and behavior patterns to incorporate equal effort in all the directions so that your wheel will function in perfect harmony. All right, Libras. I hope you enjoyed your messages. I hope they resonated. Leave me a comment, guys. Check out your monthlies, check out your weeklies. Make sure to subscribe, guys. If you want to book a reading, again, all that info is in the description box below. And I am taking 20% off of all of my readings right now, just to try to help people out and offer readings when maybe we can't pay as much. Do check out Truly Divine and their amazing astrology, compatibility, numerology analysis. They are incredible, and you can use my code Deku30 as many times as you want. You can send it to people. Again, they can use it multiple times. It's not just a one-time only code. But again, use Deku30 at Truly Divine to get 30% off of all of your astrology, compatibility, and numerology analysis. They are the most incredible analysis service in those areas that I've ever had, even getting readings and chart analysis through people and numerology analysis through people. Like, they're just amazing. So do check them out. I am just still so impressed by them. So do make sure to subscribe, guys. Make sure to share if you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful and blessed week ahead. Namaste, and happy birthday to everybody who is celebrating this week. Stay happy, stay healthy, and safe, my friends. Namaste.